Ang inaasahan po, Mr. President, ay sa pamamagitan nitong ating panukala ay mapipigilan natin na magkaroon po tayo ng batas pero hindi naman ito mapopondohan and mabubungi yung isang importanteng elemento ng ating universal healthcare
Kasi
system.
marami
Mr.
naman
President.
tayong mga batas na hindi talaga napopondohan, hindi lamang itong ospital.
Yes, Mr. President,
Baka maging white elephant na naman itong ospital na ito. I hope not.
definitely hindi natin gustong mangyari yon, Mr. President, at gagawin natin ang lahat na ito'y maging isang mahigpit na panukala na actually magde-deliver, magpo-produce ng isang Philippine Geriatric Center over the next several years, Mr. President.
So ang target niyo po dito, mga after 5 years, maisa sa katuparan nitong...
Opo, Mr. President, mga kalahating dekada pa. Dahil at the same time, lumalabas na pinaprioritize ng DOH na by 2028, within 3 years, fully set up na po yung mga specialty centers for geriatric care sa loob ng 33 out of the DOH, out of the 82 DOH hospitals. At gayon din, tuloy-tuloy yung pag-capacitate ng ating mga primary care facilities. 2,000 plus na po ay may ganung capacity at all over the country na magkaroon ng capacity, at least for primary healthcare sa mga geriatrics, not just in the next 3 years, but ongoing po, year on year, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President. Okay, I'm down to my last 2 questions, Mr. President. Is the establishment of the Philippine Geriatric Center intended as a pilot model for future regional geriatric centers, Mr. President?
Magandang tanong po yan, Mr. President. Actually, hindi na po siya kailangang hintayin bilang pilot dahil bago pa man tayo magkaroon ng Philippine Geriatric Center, nauuna na sa mga rehiyon. At least yung mga specialty centers for geriatric care dun sa DOH hospitals at yung pong mga primary care facilities. So, in a way, kapag maitayo na natin yung Philippine Geriatric Center, makokompleto niya yung isa pang importanteng piyesa sa buong puzzle ng pag-provide ng geriatric care sa kabuuang universal healthcare system natin, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President, and I'm down to my last question. Finally, how does this bill fit into a long-term national aging strategy, considering projections that the Philippines will soon become an aging society?
Ang ganda po ng tanong, Mr. President, dahil ngayon ko lang tuloy na-realize na kapag nagkaroon na tayo nitong Philippine Geriatric Center, complementary sa specialty centers sa mga DOH hospitals at complementary sa ating primary care facilities na nag-extend ng geriatric services, mas magkakatotoo yung advokasya ng Department of Health ng active aging at saka healthy longevity. So kumbaga, mas ma-anticipate na natin yung sinasabi at sinabi nga po ng good gentleman na darating yung araw as early as year 2030 na tatawid tayo dun sa classification ng aging population. And gusto po natin na sa pamamagitan nitong Philippine Geriatric Center na bubuin yung sistema ng universal.
My work is easy because I use ClickUp. Here's how I keep track of all my tasks. I start by brain dumping everything I need to get done in a list view. Next, I set a priority and a due date
Ang kalusugan ng ating mga senior citizens or kapag magkaroon sila ng health concerns, maaga pa lang ma-detect at ma-intervene ito para magamot, or kung wag naman sana, knock on wood, magkaroon ng mas malulubhang mga health concerns, ay ganun din effectively makapaggamot sa kanila para yung buong life expectancy ay ma-enjoy pa rin ng ating mga seniors, ng ating mga geriatrics. At yung quality of life sa life expectancy na yon ay to the greatest degree possible, ma-enjoy pa rin, Mr. President.
Maraming salamat. Thank you, Mr. President. First of all, I would like to thank my colleague, Senator Risa, for answering all my questions. I've learned a lot from all your answers, Mr. President. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Maraming salamat po, good gentleman mula sa San Juan. Salamat po, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Oo, senior na. Si Risa, 1 year pa.
Thank you. Tinanong ko si Senator Jingo Estrada kung senior citizen siya. Senior citizen na pala. Hindi halata. Yeah.
Oh, hindi nga.
So, Mr. President, with that, I move to close the period of interpellation, Mr. President, of the measure.
They're seeing there are no more interpellators. Any objection? Hearing none, period of interpellation is closed.
Thank you, Mr. President. And if the good lady senator is ready with her amendments, maybe we can tackle the...
I wish I were, Mr. President, a good majority leader. Pero iniintay pa po yung approval ng mga kasamang senador na nag-propose ng amendments kung okay na po yung formulation. So we'll be ready on Monday, Mr. President.
All right, Mr. President.
Okay.
With that, I move to suspend consideration of the measure.
Any objection? Hearing none, consideration of 1509 is suspended.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I move that we consider Senate Bill number 1513. This is the lupus systemic instituting a national health program to fight lupus, Mr. President. If the
1513.
yes, that's item number 4 in the agenda.
All right. Any objection? Consideration of 1513 is in order.
Thank you, Mr. President. Oh, maybe that's Senator Mark. Senator Mark has some amendments. Maybe we can just ask the sponsor to be the one to read into the records the amendments for the measure. Maganda para ma-second reading. Mr. President,
No, still in the period of interpellation.
that's correct, Mr. President. Mr. President, no member wishes to interpolate or they interpolate. Hindi ko alam sa ano.
All right. The
Mr. President,
period
we
of...
recognize the gentleman from
Senator
San
Jingo
Juan.
Estrada is recognized.
Maybe only 2 questions, Mr. President.
Yes, we recognize the good gentle lady from Panay and Republic of the Philippines, Senator Rizal Tiveros.
Senator Tiveros is recognized.
Just for the education of the public, Mr. President, just only 2 questions, Mr. President. Ano ba
Yes,
klaseng
Mr.
sakit itong lupus? Sa kidney ba ito?
It is an autoimmune disease, Mr. President. Pero minsan nami-misdiagnose siya dahil sa bawat tao, bawat pasyente, minsan magkakaiba-iba po ang simptomas. And so nagkakaroon po ng problema na nami-misdiagnose siya as one or another health concern, nare-resetahan ng gamot or nape-prescribe ng therapy. At kapag po mali ang naging diagnosis at mali ang naging initial na medication, minsan mas lalo pang napapalala yung tunay na underlying condition, which is lupus, Mr. President.
Ano ba yung simptomas ng pagkakaroon ng lupus? Kung alam niyo po, dahil
Iba.
alam ko hindi naman po kayong doktor.
Hindi po ako doktor, Mr. President, pero ayon sa mga impormasyon na ibinigay pati nung ating mga kasama dito sa Senado na co-authors ko dito, it could span a wide range of symptoms, Mr. President, mula sa skin rashes hanggang sa infection sa iba't ibang major internal organs, pwedeng nerve sensitivity or pain. Malawak po ang range ng mga symptoms, Mr. President. And Mr. President, the Majority Leader would like to interject.
Thank you, Mr. President. Baka makatulong po ako, Mr. President, dahil yung aking anak na babae is may lupus. So, nung una po namin, tama po sinabi ng ating sponsor, hindi mo agad-agad ma-realize na ito po yung lupus unless there's another set of tests. Usually, nag-umpisa po sa aking anak, she was 12 years old. During the pandemic, I remember na nagkaroon po siya ng malaking bukol sa braso. At nagtataka kami, bakit nagkaroon ng malaking bukol? Natakot siyempre kami dahil baka cyst or it might be cancerous. So we had it operated, Mr. President. And thankfully, benign siya. Wala pong, hindi po siya cancer.
Mr.
And then all of a
Majority
sudden,
Leader, what was the first diagnosis of the doctors sa anak mo?
yeah, initially
Aside
kasi,
from
Mr.
yung
President,
initial diagnosis.
initially kasi they thought it was just a hypoderm. It was a medical term, I forget. It's like nagkakaroon po ng epidermatitis something. It's like lumps in the skin. Apparently, that is one of the manifestations of lupus. Kasi you're autoimmune, your body does not know how to treat and react to that. And then nangyayari po, Yun, after that, nung nalaman na po namin nagkaganon, tapos later, nagka-rashes siya. So, our doctor in Cagayan de Oro, who's a dear good friend of mine, said na your daughter might have an autoimmune problem. So, because of that, nag-hospital po kami sa Manila to be able to get the proper testing. Kasi blood test and urine test yan. There's another, pag nag-blood test po kayo for your medical checkups, it's not there. It's not in any of the tests of that particular medical checkup kung yung executive checkup ka. It's a specialized blood test wherein they check certain markers. At dun po pumasok na yun nga may autoimmune problem yung lalo na sa platelets ng dugo. Another one is also on your autoimmune. There's a markers for autoimmune in the blood test. Doon namin nalaman na she has juvenile lupus. Other people, like for example, other people that I know, ang kanila is bumabagsak yung katawan bigla.
Pumapayat.
Hindi naman pumapayat, talagang nangihina. And then because of that, affected po yung kidneys and liver nila, internal organs. These are the worst, I'd say, worst symptoms of lupus because also that they have to drink this medication na napakalakas. And minsan nga yung yung autoimmune medication that they take, hiyang. May autoimmune medication na hiyang sa isang tao pero hindi po gumagana sa iba. But it all falls under an autoimmune sickness, Mr. President. Even, if I'm not mistaken, Chris Aquino, who's the daughter of our former president, a good friend of ours also, and a good friend of the good gentleman, she has also the same symptoms of autoimmune. Parang lupus na rin yan po. It's a kind of lupus. That's what she has today. So it attacks the body differently in autoimmune.
In vital organs.
It attacks the vital organs, Mr. President. Kaya it has to be treated fairly early, tsaka dapat hindi ma-misdiagnose. Kaya napakalaga po itong batas ni Senator Risa Ontiveros is because they're coming up now with a guideline. No, it's a health program. At the same time, one of the amendments will be this establishment of an autoimmune center para hindi na po ma-misdiagnose. Marami po namamatay kasi, knock on wood, no? Na namamatay po sila dahil na may misdiagnose. Kala nila skin rashes lang. So they treat it like
Dermatologist.
Parang dermatologist lang or yung skin disease lang. It's that and skin asthma. There's a term for that. Eczema. So they treat it like that lang, not knowing that it's already affecting them internally. Psoriasis. It's also psoriasis. Yeah. And then kaya napakalaga itong bill na ito para ma-jumpstart natin. And I'd say probably hundreds of thousands, if not there are millions of Filipinos that are affected by this. It's just misdiagnosed. And
What is the cause?
Mr. President, there's until now it's either hereditary. Some doctors say it's hereditary. Some doctors say it's a shock to the system. There are people that have no lupus. There are ladies and gentlemen that have no lupus all throughout their young life. And then all of a sudden, when they hit 30, 35 years old, 40, nagkalupus po sila. So,
Biglaan.
parang biglaan eh. And it's more prevalent now, Mr. President. If you talk to a lot of people, I've met a lot of people casually na yung kapatid nila may lupus, yung nanay nila may lupus, yung anak nila may lupus. So parang dumadami na po because it's now properly being diagnosed.
Yeah, my niece. I have a niece who has lupus. She's cured already. The sister of my one of my lawyers.
That's good. But actually, Mr. President, there's really no cure. It's just management po. She just cannot have another flare-up. Kasi pwede pa sa, ito nangyayari, Mr. President. Let's say for 1 year, you drink the medicine. You're absolutely perfect. That happens to my daughter and kay asawa din ni Senator Mark, ganun din. They can have 1 year, they can travel, they have a nice normal life, and then the next year, boom, nagkakasumpong po. And then, nagkakaroon ng lumps, nagkakaroon ng rashes, bagsak yung katawan, kailangan may IV na steroids and things like that, and talagang pahinga for 2 to 3 months. Yung masama pa dito, Mr. President, dahil mahina yung kanilang autoimmune system or their immune system, pag nagkaroon ng sipon yung aking anak, ang tagal bago mawala. Like for example, now she's had a cough for 2 months. Hindi niya agad-agad mawala yung ubo niya dahil nga it takes a longer time for them their immune system to take effect. So, that's the reality of it, Mr. President. And strangely enough, 90% of the patients, lupus patients pa are women, Mr. President. 90%, I think yours is your niece?
Yes.
Ako, my first cousin po, my daughter. My Uncle Albert's daughter also has lupus. It's mostly women, Mr. President.
Kailangan mag-iingat si Senator Risa.
Hindi naman sila.
Anyway,
Yes,
Yeah,
sige,
but it could
mag-iingat
happen.
po.
We never know kasi it's the luck of the draw. Bigla na lang nagka-appear.
wait, one
Thank you,
question.
Mr. President. I just
Is
want-
lupus contagious? Hindi nakakahawa.
It is not, Mr. President.
Alright.
Opo.
Okay, meron ho kayong data, Mr. President, good sponsor. Sabi nga ni Senator Majority Leader Senator Mitch, halos lahat ng tinatamaan mga babae. So anong ratio? Meron ba kayong ratio?
Unfortunately, Mr. President, baka kaugnay din nung misdiagnosed yung mga cases ng lupus. Wala pa po tayong matibay na database on how many Filipinos are living with lupus at ilan sa kanila ay babae, ilan ay lalaki. Yun yung isang gustong tutukan din nung center na ipopropose ni Senator Mark bilang amendment, Mr. President.
Ano bang doktor nag-aalaga rito? Rheumatologist.
Yes, Mr. President, rheumatologist din po.
Okay, thank you, Mr. President.
Salamat po, good gentleman. Salamat, Mr. President.
All right, Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. We appreciate the questions of our good friend Senator Estrada because a lot of people really, initially, hindi ko rin alam po nung diniagnose ng doktor na may lupus yung anak ko. Tinanong ko din sa asawa ko, what's that? Naalala ko lang yung, kay President Marcos dati, may lupus daw siya. And then, that's the only time we did the research. So I think this is very timely, Mr. President. With that, Mr. President, no other members wish to interpolate this. As a matter of fact, I also asked the minority leader yesterday if we can fast track this. He said, yan, no problem kasi good, happy bill. Happy bill naman po ito, Mr. President. I move that we close the period of interpellations.
Any objection? Hearing none, period of interpolations closed.
Mr. President, I'll ask the lady senator if you have amendments. We can open the period of amendments, Mr. President. I so
Are
moved.
these committee amendments or individual amendments?
This is an individual amendment, Mr. President.
Individual amendments, it's a substitute bill, therefore automatically individual amendments. You may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. President. Originally, it was going to be Senator Mark Villar to introduce the amendment. Isa po siya sa mga may akda at personally din po and family-wise, importante po sa kanila itong
Are
batas.
are these lengthy amendments or just
No,
very
actually,
few?
isa lamang pong
Okay.
proposed amendment,
So
Mr. President. At
We need not take it up on page by page.
Yes, Mr. President.
So you may proceed.
Salamat, Mr. President. This amendment was proposed by Senators Lacson, Zubiri, Mark Villar, and Ontiveros. On page 2, after line 30, insert a new section 6, which will read as follows. Section 6, Center for Lupus and Autoimmune Diseases. There is hereby established a Center for Lupus and Autoimmune Diseases under the Department of Health to serve as the National Technical and Referral Center for Systemic Lupus Erythematosus, SLE, and other autoimmune diseases, with functions including standards development, research, training, data management, and policy support. I so move, Mr. President.
And you accept that?
And yes, Mr.
right.
President,
Any
I accept.
objections? Hearing none, adopted.
Thank you, Mr. President, and further move to renumber the succeeding sections accordingly. I so move, Mr.
She
President.
so renumbered.
Thank you, Mr. President. For the record, the justification for this amendment now accepted is as follows. Lupus and other autoimmune diseases are complex, long-term conditions that require specialized care, consistent standards, and reliable data. Establishing a Center for Lupus and Autoimmune Diseases will centralize expertise, improve coordination of care, and support research, training, and data collection. The center strengthens the implementation of this act by providing technical and policy support to the Department of Health while integrating lupus care within a broader autoimmune disease framework to promote efficiency, avoid duplication, and ensure more sustainable and effective health services. For the record, Mr. President.
All right. Thank you. We'll place that on record.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Majority Leader.
Mr. President, with that, I move to close the period of amendments, Mr. President.
Any objection? Hearing none, period of amendments closed.
Thank you, Mr. President. And with no further ado, Mr. President, I'd like to ask permission of the body, and I think this measure will really be needed by our people. Tinanong nga po, bago lang ni Senator Estrada, nakakamatay ba ito? And I told him, nakakamatay kung hindi nga, kung pinapabayaan po, Mr. President. It's not a death sentence, as I said in my speech, but kung hindi po alam ng ating mahihirap, lalo na sa ating mga masang Pilipino, mahirap na mga kababayan, na pamilya, ay talagang misdiagnosed at dahil dyan ay nagkakaroon po ng serious threats to their life itong mga problemang, itong kasong lupus na ito. So, with that, Mr. President, I move to approve on second reading Senate Bill number 1513 under Committee Report number 17, Mr. President.
Any objection? Hearing none, Senate Bill 1513 is approved on second reading.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. My dear colleagues, maraming salamat.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
While you're watching this Monday.com ad, Lisa clicked the star and Monday Sidekick flagged potential delays, prioritized tasks, and sent reminders to every stakeholder.
And I move to suspend consideration of the measure to start to allow our-
Consideration of the measure is suspended.
Thank you, Mr. President. Do we have administrative?
There is
Mr. President,
second
I move for a
additional.
second additional reference of business.
The Secretary will proceed with the second additional reference of business.
Second additional reference of business committee report. Committee report number 23, prepared and submitted jointly by the Committees on Cultural Communities and Muslim Affairs and Finance on Senate number 1629 with Senators Padilla, Villar M., and Villanueva as authors. An act mandating the establishment of multi-faith prayer and quiet rooms in public offices and certain public-facing establishments. Recommending its approval in substitution of Senate number 17 and 1208, sponsor Senator Padilla.
Referred to the calendar for ordinary business or forwarded to the calendar for ordinary business.
Thank you, Mr.
Majority
President.
Leader.
Before we take up the bill of our distinguished colleague, Senator Robin Hood Padilla, may we just move to consider Senate Bill number 1510 under Committee Report number 14. That's item number 3 on the agenda, Mr. President. The
Any
National Health
objections?
Service.
Hearing none, consideration of Senate Bill 1510 is in order.
Mr. President, the status of the measures were in the period of interpellation to sponsor the measure of Senator Risa Ontiveros and to interpellate Senator Jinggoy Ejercito Estrada.
The sponsor, Senator Risa Ontiveros, is recognized and to interpolate Senator Jingo Estrada.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I have already consulted the sponsor. I do not wish to interpolate anymore with regard to this particular bill. Thank you, Mr. President.
Salamat po, Mr. President, at sa good gentleman mula sa San Juan.
We'd like to thank our distinguished colleague, Senator Jinggoy Ejercito Estrada, for this. And Mr. President, no other member has listed to interpolate the measure. I move to close the period of interpellation.
Any objection? Hearing none, period of interpolation is closed.
Mr. President, I move to open the period of amendments and ask the good sponsor if we have amendments for the measure.
Period of
Mr.
amendments open, Senator Ontiveros recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. No amendments, Mr. President.
No amendments?
There being no amendments, no proposed amendments from our colleagues also on record, Mr. President, I move that we approve, or we close the period of amendments.
Any objection? Hearing none, period of amendments closed on 1510.
Mr. President, I move to approve on second reading, Senate Bill number 1510. So moved.
Any objection? Chair hears none. Senate Bill 1510 is approved on second reading.
Congratulations, Mr. President, to our sponsor. Thank you. Mr. President,
May
I
we
move
suspend?
to suspend consideration of the measure.
The consideration is suspended.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, may I move to transfer from the calendar for ordinary business to special order, Senate Bill number 1629 under Committee Report number 23. I so move.
Any objection? Hearing none. So transferred.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I move that we consider Senate Bill number 1629 under Committee Report number 23. So move.
Any objection? Hearing none. Consideration of 1629 is in order.
We ask the Secretary to read the title.
Secretary will read the title of the measure.
An act mandating the establishment of multi-faith prayer and quiet rooms in public offices and certain public-facing establishments.
Majority Leader.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I move that we recognize the sponsor, Senator Robin Hood Padilla, the chairperson of the Committee on Indigenous Peoples and Muslim Affairs.
Hearing no objection, Senator Robin Padilla is recognized to sponsor the measure.
Maraming salamat po, Ginoong Pangulo at sa ating pinunong mayorya. Bago ko po ibigay ang aking talumpati, gusto ko lamang pong pasalamatan si Senator Risa Hontiveros patungkol po sa lupus. Sapagkat meron po tayong isang mahal sa buhay, si Miss Chris Aquino, ang kasalukuyan pong dumaraan sa karamdaman na ito. Ginoong Tagapangulo, mga kapwa ko senador, isang karangalan po para sa inyong lingkod ang tumayo sa bulwagang ito bilang tagapangulo po ng Committee on Cultural Communities and Muslim Affairs at sponsor ng Senate Bill number 1629 sa ilalim ng Committee Report number 23 na substitute bill ng mga Muslim Prayer Room Act na inihain ng inyong lingkod at ng iginagalang nating kasamahan, Senador Mark Villar. Ipinapanawagan ko po ang suporta ng buong Senado para sa panukalang batas na ito. Hindi lamang bilang isang mambabatas, kundi bilang isang Pilipinong naniniwala sa mahalagang papel ng pananalig sa ating buhay. Sa bawat gusali ng gobyerno, sa bawat ospital, terminal, paliparan, at pampublikong espasyo, may mga Pilipinong dumadaan sa tahimik na laban. May pagod, may takot, may nagdadalamhati, merong mga pinagdadaanan. Ngunit madalas, wala man silang isang sulok kung saan sila maaring magpahinga, magdasal, at magmuni-muni. Ang panukalang batas na ito ay isang simpleng tanong sa ating konsensya bilang ipinagmamalaki natin na tayo ay isang Catholic country at pinagmamalaki rin na may Muslim population. May mga lugar ba sa ating pamahalaan para sa pananampalataya at kapayapaan ng loob? Noong nakaraang 19th Congress, ang aming panukala ni Senador Mark Villar ay Muslim Prayer Room Act. Ngunit, bunga ng aming mga talakayan, kami ay bumuo ng bersyon na susuporta sa kalayaan ng paniniwala at magpapayaman sa espiritual na magpapahalaga ng ating mga mamamayan habang tumatalima sa ating saligang batas. Ang Multi-Faith Prayer and Quiet Rooms Act ay hindi hakbang tungo sa pagkiling sa anumang relihiyon. Hindi ito pabor sa isang pananampalataya. Ito ay pagkilala na ang Pilipino, anumang relihiyon, anumang paniniwala, o kahit walang relihiyon, ay may karapatang magnilay, magdasal, at magmuni-muni ng hindi inuusig at hindi hinuhusgahan. Sa ilalim ng panukala, ang mga saklaw na public offices at public-facing establishments ay kinakailangang magtatag ng at least isang multi-faith prayer and quiet room. Hindi required na ipagawa nila ito. Maaari silang mag-designate lamang ng isang existing na space sa kanilang gusali upang maging MFQR, Multi-Faith Prayer and Quiet Rooms. Kinakailangan lamang na ang MFQR na kanilang itatatag ay enclosed at accessible. Ito ay dapat religiously neutral. Ibig sabihin, walang permanenteng simbolo ng anumang relihiyon. Pero ang mga gagamit ay maaaring magdala ng kanilang mga personal na gamit para sa pagdarasal. Ngunit, kailangan din nilang dalhin matapos ang paggamit. Kinakailangan ding siguruhin ng establishmento na voluntaryo ang paggamit nito. Walang pamimilit, walang panghihimasok, walang mang-aabala o manggugulo sa kapwa. Kinakailangan ding siguruhin ng ahensya ang maintenance ng MFQR at isaalang-alang ang mga sumusunod. Malinis na sahig, pagkakaroon ng syurak, sapat na liwanag at ventilasyon, multilingual na karatula na may kasamang international quiet room symbol, pagkakaroon ng ablution facilities o washroom na kung hindi man sa loob mismo ng MFQR ay malapit lamang dito at dapat ay gender neutral, malinis at accessible. Kung kakayanin, ang pagkakaroon ng movable partitions para mapahintulutan ang pag-upo, pagluhod at pagtayo. Ang mga saklaw ng panukala ay ang mga pampublikong tanggapan gaya ng national government offices, constitutional bodies, government-owned and controlled corporations, government financial institutions, state universities and colleges, at local government units. Kasama rin ang public-facing establishments tulad ng airports, seaports, ospital, malls, transport hubs, at iba pang establishmentong madalas pasukin ng publiko, maliban sa mga high security o restricted areas. Ang mga public-facing establishments naman na hindi saklaw ng panukala at maaring voluntaryong mag-designate ng MFQR at maaring mag-apply ng recognition alinsunod sa mga programa ng pagkilala ng pamahalaan. Halimbawa po, sa Department of Tourism, sila ay nagbibigay ng pagkilala sa mga Muslim-friendly establishments. Tandaan po natin sa ating kilalalagyan na rehiyon, karamihan po ay Muslim countries. Ang mga accredited na establishments ay maaaring ding magawaran ng mga sumusunod na incentives. Eligibility upang maisama sa mga promotional program ng Department of Tourism at iba pang ahensya. Access sa technical assistance o recognition awards. Priority endorsement upang makalahok sa mga government fairs, expositions, o iba pang travel promotions. Hindi rin po ito magastos na panukala. Ang hinihingi lamang natin ay kaayusan, kalinisan at respeto. Mga bagay na dapat ay likas sa isang makataong pamahalaan. Ang pondong gagamitin para sa implementasyon ng panukala ay kukunin sa kasulukuyang budget ng ahensya at sa kalaunan ay isasama sa General Appropriation Act kung kinakailangan. Ginoong Tagapangulo, sa panahon ang lipunan ay puno ng ingay at galit, hidwaan at kaguluhan. Ang batas na ito ay nananawagan para sa kapayapaan ng loob. Bigyan natin ng puwang ang mataimtim na pagninilay. Bigyan natin ng dignidad ang panalalangin. Bigyan natin ng respeto ang konsensya ng bawat Pilipino. Ito ay hindi pabor sa iilan. Ito ay pagpapahalaga sa pangangailangan ng lahat. Buong puso ko pong hinihiling na naway suportahan ng kapulungang ito ang panukalang ito. Maraming salamat po.
Majority Leader.
Maraming salamat, Mr. President. Mr. President, kung papayag po ang principal author and sponsor na sana po ay maging co-sponsor at co-author po ako nitong...
Ay, napakalaking bagay po para makasama po natin ang ating pinunong mayorya, ang godfather po ng BARM. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Magandang panukala po ito, Mr. President. I consider this a happy bill as well. And maganda po may mga safe spaces na ganun sa mga workplaces sa buong bansa na pwede sila pong, libre po silang magdasal, no? Kung ano pong gusto nilang ipagdasal dun sa mga safe spaces na ito. And we thank the good sponsor for making it just not just a Muslim prayer room but also interfaith na po. So pwede po magkaroon ng magmisa doon, pwede din po magdasal doon ng ating mga kapatid na Muslim. So kung sa ika nga sa airport sa Singapore, Mr. President, meron pong ganun interfaith. Singapore, yung mga first world countries, meron po silang interfaith prayer rooms. So we congratulate the sponsor for this measure. Mr. President, for the record, Senator Villanueva and Senator Estrada would just like to insert their co-sponsorship speeches for the record.
We will place that into the records.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move to suspend consideration of the measure, Mr. President.
All right, for the other members to
Study the measure.
study the measure. Yes, any objection? Hearing none, consideration is suspended.
Which one?
Majority Leader.
Some admin matters now, Mr. President. With the consent of the body and the consent of the changes and consistent with changes in committee referrals of related bills approved yesterday, I move to change the committee referral of Senate Bill number 185, the Child Online Protection Act, from the Committees on Science and Technology, Women and Family Relations, and Finance to the Committees on Public Information, Mass Media, Science and Technology, Women, Children, and Finance. I so move, Mr. President.
Yes, I understand this is a change of referrals, but you are referring it to three committees. Upon the ruling of the Committee on Rules. So this is upon your ruling already,
Yes,
because
Mr. President.
just to place on record, we do not allow such.
Yeah, unless
There are more than
we
two,
ask the
unless
consent.
it's
unless we ask
Ways
the
and
consent
Means
of the
or
body.
Finance.
Yes, Mr.
But
President.
you have this has already been referred to your committee,
Yes,
the Rules Committee, and your ruling is that these three committees plus the Finance be the referrals.
yes, Mr. President.
All right.
Due to the importance of the subject matter, Mr.
All right.
President.
Any objection? Hearing none. Motion's approved.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. And before we end the session, Mr. President, may we recognize your distinguished colleague, Senator Robin Hood Padilla, for a manifestation.
Manifestation from Senator Robin Padilla, you're recognized.
Maraming salamat po, Ginoong Pangulo at sa ating pinunong mayorya. Maiksi lamang po ito. Mga kasama ko po sa lupon na ito, magalang ko pong hinihiling ang inyong suporta sa panukalang Senate Resolution number 192 na inihain ko po noong ika-2 ng Disyembre 2025 at na-refer na po ito sa Senate Committee on Banks, Financial Institutions, and Currencies. Ito po ay nag-uudyok sa Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas na magsagawa ng isang masusing pag-aaral hinggil sa posibilidad ng demonetization ng 1,000 banknotes na inilabas mula 2020 hanggang 2025. Sa harap ng mga umiiral na aligasyon ng katiwalian at ng paulit-ulit na ulat hinggil sa malawakang paggamit ng high denomination currency sa mga illegal na transaksyon, ang resolusyong ito ay naglalayong magbukas ng isang maingat at responsableng pagsusuri upang palakasin ang transparency, accountability, at integridad ng ating monetary at financial system. Itong mga nakaraang buwan, nakita po natin sa balita ang mga nagbalik ng pera po na nakuha sa mga kickbacks. Mga perang tagi-1,000. Meron ding balita na may ilan ding namimili na po ng ginto upang linisin ang perang nagmula sa hindi maganda. Dahil dito, magalang po naming inaanyayahan aking mga idolo na ipagkaloob ang kanilang suporta sa panukalang ito bilang pagpapakita ng ating kolektibong paninindigan para sa mabuting pamamahala, pananalig sa mga institusyon at pagbabalik ng tiwala ng mamamayan sa pamahalaan. Yun lamang po, Ginoong Pangulo, maraming salamat po.
All right, Majority Leader. Well, it was a manifestation. You may refer it to the comedian box again.
Yes, Mr. President, we'd like to refer the manifestation of our dear colleague to the Committee on Banks and
All right.
Financial Institutions.
So referred to the comedian box.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. With that, there being no other matters to be discussed today, Mr. President, I move that we suspend our session until 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday, December 22, 2025, while awaiting hopefully, Mr. President, God willing, inshallah, we will be able to have received a copy of the bicameral committee report, Mr. President, hopefully.
All right. Any objection? Hearing none. Session is suspended until 3 o'clock in the afternoon of Monday, December 22, 2025.